Hi everyone, I'm the nearly 40-year-old model who's been pushed out of the industry and now delivers food to help make ends meet. I've been at this for 2 days, and my biggest challenges are getting lost and worrying about being late with deliveries. I'm always in a rush, and this cold weather is brutal. My face feels like it's about to crack. After just a few deliveries, I've had to find a place to warm up, but there's no other way. I have to push through. Let's go, time to get moving. A model close to 40, facing industry decline, has taken up part-time food delivery. She's been sharing videos of her experiences online, drawing a lot of attention.
Hello, this is Drew. I'd like to welcome you all back to another episode of Real Talk Today. Today, I'm going to take a look over the pond and see what's going on with the women over there that are beginning to age out, as far as women over 40, women that are losing government jobs. Kind of the same thing that's going on over here. But it seems like the same thing that's happening across the pond is what's going to be coming here very soon. Let's talk about it.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills
About it.
How she's been getting through 2025 by delivering food and maintaining a positive outlook on life, earning praise from viewers.
很多人认为我不是真的在送外卖。
Many people don't believe I'm actually delivering food, so I want to explain my thoughts today. The job market isn't great right now, and as everyone knows, modeling is a profession that depends on youth. I'm almost 40, and no matter how well I maintain my figure, I can't compete with younger models. Since the pandemic, there have been fewer jobs, and my income isn't enough to cover my expenses, so I started delivering food. With food delivery, I make between 60 to 100 yuan a day. More importantly, it keeps me busy, helps me stay active, and provides a little extra money to cover my living costs. I still need to maintain my image for modeling, which means skincare and other expenses to look polished. That's why, while delivering food, I also film videos to increase my visibility in the industry. If my content does well, maybe I'll...
Now, this right here is an example of another woman that has super high standards because she's a good-looking woman. Even as far as, an Oriental or whatnot, I think she's very nice looking. But she's aged out. She's gotten too old. She's another one that, she felt like, I don't need no man, basically, when she was younger in her prime or whatnot. I got a good job. I'm a model. I'm looking for the top guy or whatnot. And just for whatever reason, it just never materialized.
And an ad or two, which would be even better. In this tough economy, I want to stay competitive and keep my energy up. One person commented, "You're amazing. I wouldn't even know how to deliver food." Another said, "You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You're already doing great." Many middle-aged workers who lost their jobs have turned to food delivery, while others with unstable employment also take it on as a side gig. For example, in Beijing, the number of food delivery workers in the first half of last year surged by an astonishing 49.7% compared to the previous year. As a result, the industry has become saturated. Another concerning trend is the rising number of women entering nightclub jobs amid the wave of unemployment. A male vlogger who has worked in nightclubs for 17 years said that 2025 has seen the highest number of women in the industry, and even more are expected to join during the summer break.
今年出来找工作的人太多了。
There are too many people looking for jobs this year. I've been in this industry for 17 years, and this is the highest number of women I've ever seen in nightclubs. The numbers are only going to increase. Over the past 2 years, countless brick-and-mortar stores have shut down, fresh graduates are unemployed, and many entrepreneurs have failed, leaving them in deep debt. Some people can't even pay their mortgages or car loans. Even government employees in some areas aren't receiving their salaries on time. Many of these women are turning to nightclubs. A venue that used to have 200 staff now has 300 to 400, but at least 10% of them don't even get shifts every night. Others have gone into foot massage parlors, dance halls, or live stream selling. In major cities like Shanghai, Hangzhou, and Chengdu, the number of nightclub workers has surpassed 1 million. I expect even more people to enter the industry this summer. What do you all think?
Another
Well, at least over here in Japan or wherever these people are, they can get something going on at the nightclub. But I don't know if you listen to social media or whatnot, the clubs are pretty much dying because let's be real, the clubs are really driven by male money. I mean, for 20, 30 years, women got in free and the men had to pay full price because what nightclub owners thought basically was that if we let the women in free, the men will pay and make up the difference. But men are starting to wise up now and figure out that it's just not worth it. We're just throwing away a whole lot of money for nothing. So I don't even know if the women over here going to be able to go to the nightclubs or whatnot, because I don't know if that business is going to exist. It's going to be enough customers there to support the wave of women that are going to be losing a lot of these government jobs or whatnot pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be enough nightclub action and whatnot to support them.
First reason is a struggling economy. Many women who have had cosmetic surgery are under financial pressure to repay their debts.
There you go.
So they turn to nightclub work. Second, the live streaming industry isn't as profitable as before. Even influencers with thousands or tens of thousands of followers aren't making much money, so they return to nightclub jobs. Third, many Gen Z women, especially those without higher education or specialized skills, enter the industry to make a living while they're young. And finally, college graduates struggle to find decent jobs and don't want to work a 9-to-5 job for just 2,000 or 3,000 rand a month, so they opt for nightclub work instead.
There's also the rise of so-called escort models,
Here
young
we
women
go.
who claim to be in modeling or acting, but are actually involved in gray area professions like transactional relationships
selling
or
box.
sex work. A female vlogger who helps students study abroad in Singapore said she recently had a surprising client, a high-end escort from Shanghai who wanted to move to Singapore as a student to make money.
就前段时间，我接待了一位来咨询新加坡留学的女生。
Not long ago, I met a young woman who was interested in studying abroad in Singapore. She was incredibly beautiful, dressed in expensive designer clothes, and carried herself with confidence. At first, I thought she was a wealthy heiress from Jiangsu, Zhejiang, or Shanghai, someone with family connections who just wanted an overseas degree for prestige. But her questions were nothing like those of typical students. Instead of asking about universities or courses, she focused on income opportunities in Singapore, the average salaries of locals, and even whether students there were generally attractive. The most shocking part was when she asked if I knew anyone who could alter her birth date on official documents. Then I realized her intentions weren't purely academic. Later, I did some digging and found that she was actually an escort model from Shanghai.
Here we go.
Through plastic surgery and careful branding, she had built up an image of wealth and sophistication. As a result, women like her are now turning their attention to Singapore, where, according to some reports, they can earn 20 to 30,000 yuan a night. This reminded me of history, how during the late Qing dynasty, poor families from Fujian and Guangdong had no choice but to travel to Malaysia for work as rubber tappers and construction laborers. But now the ones going overseas aren't impoverished laborers, but self-made socialites from Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai, using student visas as a cover to enter the high-end escort scene. The shift is both astonishing and disheartening. Independent commentator Du Zheng remarked that the financial hardship is no excuse for moral decline. In China today,
See, now that particular statement right there makes absolutely no sense. We try to act like because, we communicate in a different way or whatnot, that we're higher, than animals and whatnot, but we're mammals. We're animals when it all comes down to it. And the only thing that really separates us is our ability to think. But once you pull away all of the luxuries that society is offering or whatnot, as far as being able to eat, which is a basic necessity or whatnot, you will quickly find out how quick people would turn from the nose up in the air talking about, what they wouldn't do and all that, to doing whatever they got to do, including selling box, stealing, whatever they need to do to survive. That's pretty basic. So for the government to make a statement like that makes absolutely no sense that, somebody's going to stay moral when their stomach hit their backside. It's not happening.
people mock poverty, but then turn a blind eye to prostitution. After decades of atheism promoted by the Chinese Communist Party, many young people lack a strong moral compass. While selling one's body may seem like an easy way to make money, the physical and emotional toll is severe, leaving many of these women in a tragic situation. As China's economic troubles deepen, unemployment is becoming a widespread concern. On platforms like Douyin, Kuaishou, And Xiaohongshu, discussions about joblessness are everywhere. Some users share their struggles, some complain about workplace discrimination, while others express frustration and helplessness. Among the unemployed, women seem to face even greater challenges. Many social media posts detail the hardships women encounter, whether as business owners or as employees. One vlogger pointed out that age 35 has become a red line for women seeking jobs.
我们女的一到了35岁就跟犯了天条一样。
Once a woman turns 35, it's like she's broken some unspoken rule. Most job postings say they're only looking for candidates under 35. Women are the toughest group out there. We juggle work, family responsibilities, relationships, and childcare. We can hold a thermometer in one hand while fixing a PowerPoint presentation with the other.
Whatever.
But when we apply for jobs, even female recruiters just nod sympathetically and never call back. Another woman shared how hard it was to find a new job after quitting, saying even 30 feels like the cutoff.
现在找工作真是好难好难呀。
Finding a job is unbelievably difficult. Once you hit 30, it feels like you're automatically rejected. I've applied for so many jobs online. If I try for a sales assistant position, they ask if I have experience. If not, I'm out. I interviewed for a sales job today and saw people coming and going constantly because they couldn't keep up with the weekly targets. If you don't hit the quotas, you won't even get the weekends off. Then there's live stream selling, but that's a dead end too. The job market is awful this year. Has anyone had better luck? I feel completely lost. In Hangzhou, another woman described how job hunting has become nearly impossible.
我感觉2025年的一个最新死法就是在杭州这边找工作。
From last week to this week, I've only managed to get one interview. I've checked every job platform over and over again, but there are barely any openings. I've sent out tons of resumes, but either they get left unread or I never hear back. I started wondering if my applications were even getting through.
See, listening to this woman's particular situation, this is pretty much how it all starts. You fool around, you done had a decent job, when you were young or whatnot, and you fool around and you lose it when the economy goes down, which is what's going on right here in the U.S. And then after that, you put in a lot of applications, a few applicants, whatever the situation is. But while you're putting in applications, you find that you don't have any real skills for the market because you may have had a cush job where you didn't have to do anything. You may have something with social science or, stuff like that. And those particular type of fields, they don't pay any money. So when you get out here and you have to do something like sell something or whatnot, and the market pretty much will tell you, hey, you don't have any skills that we feel that are worth paying for. And then at that point, while you're doing all this waiting around, sending in resumes, the bills are steady coming up. The days are steady ticking by. Your rent is due again in another 30 days. And here it is, you've been 3 weeks trying to put in applications, nobody's hiring. These are the type of situations that will definitely lead you to going out and selling bots because they're desperate at this point. This right here is a woman that had a job in HR or whatnot, human resources, basically hiring and looking over paperwork or whatnot. That's a very specific niche type of situation. And unless a company needs you for that particular situation, probably it's going to be harder for women like this to find a job. Let's see what she's talking about.
Hello， 大家好，我是妮妮妈妈。
Hi everyone, I'm Nini's mom. Honestly, it's a bit embarrassing to say this, but after 6 years in HR, I still can't find a job. But then I think, in this economy, it's normal, right? No need to stress too much, right? Today, I even did some part-time work and earned a little money, so I'm not completely giving up. It's just a matter of time. I'll find something eventually.
Okay.
Let's keep going. Others have noticed that online job platforms rarely have any new postings.
你们有没有发现，现在刷 Boss 已经没有什么新的东西出来了？
Have you noticed that there's nothing new on job sites like Boss Zhiping anymore? Every day, I scroll and see the same companies, the same positions. They've been hiring for so long, but still haven't found anyone. And I've been job hunting for so long, but I still haven't found a job. I keep wondering, why don't they just hire me?
This is some of the same stuff that's been going here as far as these companies been probably for the last 5 years or better, where they posting a whole lot of jobs online, like, they need all this help, but I've seen situations where, they hire people just to post phantom jobs and whatnot that never existed in the first place. And all that does is keep the economy looking like we're doing great because it's so much, so many job opportunities and people don't want to work. But a lot of these jobs that you see posted online, they don't even exist. That's what the problem is. Which brings us to our next point, which is basically the rise of fake jobs. Let's listen to this right quick.
Meet John Doe. He's in his early 20s and eager to jump into the workforce. He sees a job listing that looks perfect to him. So he brushes up his resume, he writes an awesome cover letter, applies, and then waits. And waits. So after a month or so, he actually sees the same job posting relisted, which makes him super frustrated. John isn't alone. Many people are frustrated by applying to these kinds of jobs that seem to have no intention of hiring anyone.
If you are in the position of trying to find a new job, of course you don't want to waste your time applying for these ghost jobs.
But it turns out all those open job postings that you see online might not even be real.
Ghost jobs are a phenomenon that have existed for a long time, but they've come to light much more in recent years, and they've become much more of a significant issue in the job market.
4 in 10 companies posted fake job listings in 2024, and 3 in 10 are currently advertising for a role that isn't real, according to a May survey from Resume Builder.
The rise of ghost job posting definitely points to a cooling in the economy. We are seeing that employers are more hesitant to make that hire, and it just points to the fact that demand for talent is slowing down.
Here's why ghost jobs are on the rise.
Now, I'm thinking, why even put a job online that you know you don't even want? You don't need, position don't even exist. All you're doing is driving people, into crime and other areas because you're giving them false hope where there is no hope. Let's listen to this real quick about why they're doing this as far as these fake job listings.
Ghost jobs are actually not scams. They're from real companies, but they are openings that don't actually exist.
So it's
that
a scam.
Company is not actually hiring for that role at this moment in time. They might be interested in hiring for that role in the future, or maybe they were hiring for it, but due to budget cuts, those roles were closed or put on hold.
A ghost job is essentially a job that remains open online and never gets filled. The occurrence of ghost jobs has increased quite dramatically over the past 5 years. We're seeing a decline in the rate of hires to job postings, and that rate has basically halved over the past 5 years. So whereas in 2019 we saw 8 hires per 10 job postings, we are now seeing 4 hires per 10 job postings, which of course is quite a dramatic drop. This is a pretty worrying development because it just softens the signal of what a job posting really means and whether there is truly a hiring intention behind that from the employer point of view.
I think we're seeing a lot of ghost jobs lately for the same reason that I think a lot of people keep their Tinder profiles up even if they're not actively looking for a relationship. It's because we like to keep our options open for, whether it's a good or a bad thing. Companies are no different. Companies know that talent is not always available when they are ready to hire. So they want to be able to attract applications from potentially great candidates, even if they're not right now able to give that person a job.
Because of market visibility, if they are regularly listing their job openings, that will enhance a company's image, potentially showing them as a growing and thriving organization. And maybe that's a signal to investors or clients or competitors that their company is expanding, the brand perception.
Market research.
This is something I wanted to put on the channel because even though, right now we are definitely in a recession. I think we've been in it for the last few years. Just nobody really wanted to admit it or whatnot. But you're going to see a rise of these ghost jobs and all these situations where people, not going to be able to get jobs. And let's be real, a lot of these type of jobs, these company jobs, government jobs, women are the ones that mainly benefited here in the U.S. And I think they're going to end up doing a lot more hurting than the average man, because women letting us know right now,
Most of us, y'all ain't making enough money for us. We need a man making $200,000-$300,000 a year. I don't want to have pay any bills, all that.
The men, we're not getting these kind of jobs. We want to make any real money. We got to start our own business, take a risk, fail a few times, and then hopefully sooner or later we can break through. That's just it. And with that, I'll see you at the next one.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that Let the thoughts build up until I can't hear. That my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy.